I looked at my girlfriend with a scared look on my face and said, I need to go to the toilet. So at the time, I was in Meadow Hall. Meadow Hall is this big shopping centre where they've got loads of different shops. Now, we was there because the kids needed some more school shoes. But at the time, I was in the middle of a flare. And at the time, I must have been going like 15 to maybe 30 times a day, constantly bleeding and everything else. So I wasn't in a fantastic state. But we really needed to get these school shoes for the girls. So, as you do, you kind of muster up the courage to leave the house thinking, right, okay, so it's going to take me 25 minutes in the car to get from my house to Meadowhall. So at least I know I can get to the toilet in 25 minutes. One of my rituals before I went out anywhere was to always go for a shit. So I went upstairs, it didn't matter even if I needed it or not, it literally dropped out of you like as if you were basically pouring out a jug of water. But so I had a poop. Told everyone we need to get ready as fast as possible so then we can get to the car and get driving as soon as possible, just in case I needed to go to the toilet. We all got in the car, got on the motorway, everything seemed great. Thought, fantastic, we're going to make it. Managed to get all the way to Meadowhall, no urgency, no needing to go to the toilet. I thought, yes, it's a God, thank you very much. I was like, come on. So then we started walking around the shopping centre. Now this thing's massive, it feels like you're walking for ages from one end to the other end. And you know what it's like having go to the first shop. You look at shoes, you try on shoes and everything else, and then you think, right, okay, these are nice, why don't I have these? No, I don't like these ones. Right, okay. There's me thinking, I've still not, needed to go to the toilet. That's great. Let's just keep going. Let's get these shoes as fast as possible. Then hopefully I might be able to get home without having to go for a shit in Meadowhall, because obviously you go to these toilets and they're disgusting. So anyway, we went from one shop, went to another shop, looked at the few shoes and I was like, oh yeah, these are nice. Nope. These shoes aren't nice. I thought, oh, okay, right. We're getting nowhere here. We're getting nowhere fast. And at this time I was thinking, right, okay, now we're starting to push it a little bit. Still not needed the toilet. I'm still not, having the urgency. What's going on? We got to the next shop, and this is where things started to go downhill drastically. So we got to the next shop. There's me standing there, waiting for him to look at all these different shoes, and I wasn't even interested at this point. By the time we got to the third shop, I was like, we could have got the first pair in the first shop, but nope. I'll let them do what they're doing. And I thought, I need a fart. Normally, when you're having a flare, a fart is one of the worst things you can do because you're not sure if you are going to shit your pants or you're going to have a fart. But I was quite confident in this one. It felt like a fart. I thought, you know what? I've not been able to fart for ages. That actually feels like a fart. I'm going to try and let it out. So I stood there. As you do, you kind of clench your bumhole and just slightly open it up. Just a little bit. So then it starts to, hopefully come out. You let it out a little bit. Next thing you know, I have this sudden urge, like something's gone in my bowels and went from straight from here all the way down to my asshole and just wanted to come out instantly. So there's me like, I'm literally stood there clenching, thinking, oh shit. I looked at my girlfriend, the fear on my face, you could tell she was looking at me like, oh, what's the matter? I'm just like, I need to go to the toilet. So then there's me walking out of the fucking shop, really clenching my buttholes to really make sure I can get to that toilet. I must have been walking like a penguin, as you do, with like tight legs together. You're like, oh, come on. Literally, Meadowhall is so busy most of the time. So there's us. We was there on a weekend, so it was obviously even busier. Trying to walk through this crowd, walking like a freaking penguin. I felt like just pushing people out. Like, get out my fucking way, get out my fucking way, get out my fucking way. Literally, proper walking. Then I managed to get to the toilet. And then when you get to the toilet in these fucking places, I know they've got cleaners and everything else, but the amount of traffic that comes in and out of toilets where people are going for a shit and everything else, or taking a piss in the toilets instead of the urinals, and then they leave fucking piss all over the seat, and you're just like, seriously, you dirty fucking bastards, what'd you do at home? So then what you have to do then is you get toilet paper off, start cleaning the fucking seat before you can even sit down. All the while I'm like, proper, like, you're not gonna come on, I need to sit down. Literally, as soon as my butt hit the toilet, it fucking exploded out of me. I must have been there for a good 15, 20 minutes, like literally just frigging dropping out of me, proper in agony, like it was just like, oh, this isn't good. And then obviously finished up, wiped and stuff like that, and then went and met up with obviously the family again. At this point, I'd got to the stage of being like, you know what? I've had enough of being a med-all. I feel like shit. That shit took it out of me. It literally felt like my guts were gonna literally fall out of my body. I didn't have any wet wipes, so my asshole was sore. And we've been to 3 shops already, and they still haven't found any fucking shoes. So I was like, you know what? We need to leave. Next, we'll just come for some shoes a different time because I need to get home. They're like, okay, what we'll do is we'll go back to the first shop because we're going to get them other shoes. And I just looked at them. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? We've gone into all these shops and you like the first pair. So obviously, that then triggered something going off in my bowels. It doesn't matter how frequent you go to the toilet. If something triggers it or something goes off, you instantly need to go to the toilet again. So obviously I stood there, shock of freaking fear again on my face, like, Alice was like, you need to go again. I'm like, yeah, I need to go. At this point, I'm freaking turning around, freaking walking back to the toilet again. Got to the toilet, once again, fucking people pissing all over the fucking seats. Sat down, managed to fucking go toilet. It felt like it was never ending. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you go to the toilet, it always seems to be a vast amount. Now, one of the reasons why it always feels like that is because when you end up having like a flare-up, it kind of like damages how your body actually absorbs water. So there's you sitting on the toilet. It's not really turning into stool because it literally just fucking drops out of you. All the water doesn't like get absorbed into your body. That's why you feel dehydrated and shitty, because you're just not absorbing what you need to absorb. So after this toilet, I managed to get up. My fucking ring stinger it was so bad. At this point, I was just like, you know what? I need to go home. I feel like shit. Went downstairs, went and saw the family again, said we need to go. By this stage, they got that, and then we got in the car, and we managed to drive home with no more, obviously needing to go to the toilet. So that was fantastic. And as soon as I got home, I ended up needing to go to the toilet again. I think what people don't understand about this disease is that it literally takes your life away. There's me just trying to do it, going out with my family just to buy some school shoes. And I can't even go the whole time without either shitting my pants or going to the toilet. It's so fucking annoying that the doctors don't ever tell you about all these things that can go off. They don't say to you that your life is literally fucking ruined. Oh, you've got ulcerative colitis, Paul. Thanks. What's that? Oh, it's just inflammation of bowels. What's happening is, your white blood cells are attacking each other in your colon, and that's what's causing the inflammation. But it's okay. We'll just give you some medication, which then will put you into remission. What's remission? Well, it basically means you're not going to have any symptoms. What a load of hocus fucking pocus. This is fucking bollocks. If I got told in that meeting room that you would literally shit your pants when you're out, you're not going to be able to leave the toilet for more than fucking 25 minutes, half an hour. If you then, you'll feel like shit and fatigued all the time because you're constantly losing water, you're constantly losing blood. They don't go into the details of how debilitating this disease can be. But I'm here to tell you now that it doesn't have to be like this forever. I have been now in clinical remission for 23 months. What I use is the carnivore diet as the foundation. So that helps me remove all of the things from my colon that could irritate. Fibers, sugars, processed fucking like sugars, seed oils, all this other shit. And then the next part, so that's like 1/3 of the foundation. Then the second third is basically like the mind-body connection. As I said in this, it was that trigger of having to go back to that previous shop. It instantly needed to go to the toilet. It's finding out these triggers and food triggers and things that will cause an upset, because how many times now have you ended up, being there, you've been talking to someone, then they've either said something or a thought's popped into your head and it's instantly made you go to the toilet. The third section is exercise. Exercise will not only help you reduce your inflammation, but it help you mentally because you'll feel great because you actually done a workout and you're actually basically feeling better because you've done the workout. Then there's the fact that when you feel fatigued and drained, you might think to yourself, well, I'm not bothered doing like as much. And that's what happened to me in my last instance. I literally felt like garbage and I stopped doing walking the dog, sorting the chickens out and everything else. And it actually made me worse because I wasn't exercising. So when you exercise, say you're doing bodyweight exercises, you feel all that blood go into your muscles and you feel, you know what, pumped, you feel good. But what it is doing is actually pushing glycogen into your muscles. And what happens with that? Basically gives you more energy. So you can store more glycogen in your muscles. So you actually feel less fatigue. You feel less fucking miserable because you are actually being able to work out. Now, if you want to know how to do it, it is in the top link in the description. And it is what I've found to be the best solution for healing UC. Now, if you are in a flare, and like right now, and the doctor is pressuring you into taking medication and basically saying you can only get into like remission and reduce the inflammation by using steroids, how about just eating beef for 7 days? I'm telling you now, just eat beef, salt and water for 7 days and pretty much all your symptoms will disappear. Now, am I going to say you're healed? No. It's going to take a lot longer than 7 days to heal your bowels. But in that 7 days means you don't have to go into steroids and fucking feel like shit because they're making you feel like crap. It'll also mean you don't have to worry about going out and shitting your pants. It also means that you're removing everything else. So all the foods that were triggering and irritating before, you know they're not there. So you can eat nutritious foods knowing that you will be in some sort of a better state after 7 days. But most people don't want to try that. I bet you don't even know. I'm trying to speak to you and get you to do it, but I bet you won't even try it. Because you've been brainwashed to thinking that medication is the only fucking solution. But it's not. Medication should be the last resort for anything. That's if you've tried every single last path that there is to get healed. But the doctors fucking don't concentrate on that. All they concentrate on is giving you them first. Go on steroids. Try all these other medication. Oh, you're not in remission? Okay, we'll try something even fucking harder. You know what? We'll suppress your immune system. So then you're fucking ill all the time. But hey, you're not feeling unwell anymore. It's so fucking bittersweet that they give you these medications that might seem like you're giving a normal life back because you're not sat on the toilet 15 to 30 times a day, proper bleeding out your fucking ass. But they've taken your life away in other aspects. You're not able to go in the sun. You can't play with people. You can't go and see your grandkids or your kids because they've got colds. You can't eat the foods that you want to eat because every time you eat them, you have a fucking flare-up and you shit your pants. But then it doesn't really matter because you got this medication, but yet it doesn't really, when you have a stressful event, what happens? You still end up with a flare-up because all they do is fucking mask the symptoms. They don't get to the root cause healing. Now, if you want to get to the root cause and heal your bowels, top link in the description. And if there's anything else that you want me to record or if you like the video, then let me know in the comments below and I'll see you again soon.